then non-humans. Thought it was mages the hunters and the Temple Guard were after.
Mages left. Hunters needed a new quarry. Hatred and prejudice will never be eradicated, and witch hunts will never be about witches. To have a scapegoat, that's the key. Humans always fear the alien, the odd. Once the mages had left Novigrad, folk turned their anger against the other races. And as they have for ages, branded their neighbors their greatest foes.
Dandelion! Ready some tankards! With guests!
Geralt! Ciri! When I learned Geralt had found you...
Glad to see you in one piece too, Dandelion.
Where have you two been?
Just finished hunting down the crones of Velen and a general of the Wild Hunt.
Well, you've had a busy morning then, haven't you?
In fact, you look terrible. Like you could really use some rest.
Gladly take some. Point me to a room.
Of course. Come on, little swallow. I'll take you.
Let's meet later, Geralt. I've a little matter to resolve. I'll freshen up, then await you in the square in Gildorf.
Right. Anyone here besides us? Lodge of Sorceresses. Triss and Yen were supposed to gather the remnants.
They're working on it. Triss is upstairs, waiting for you. Yennefer's gone to Crippled Kate's.
Yen? At that portside dive? Why?
Didn't inform me. Imagine that. Ah, and that elf of yours moved into the Ruby Suite. Told me to tell you he's waiting too.
Gave him your best room?
He didn't exactly ask. I prepared another room for him, but he blew past me and locked himself in the Ruby. Hasn't peeked out since. Barely eats, drinks only water, and the only thing I've heard from him is, I wish to know when Gwynblade and Zariel arrive.
Thanks. Looks like I'll have my hands full.
You copy it, got
Oi, Grey Knight!
Oh, small man was
Happiness will come today.
Duty calls?
I miss a woman's touch.
Zoltan?
Geralt!
Novigrad doesn't seem like a safe place anymore. What's keeping you here?
I was keen on starting my own enterprise, but nothing came of it. Nevertheless, I took on some debt. Got to pay it back now. I'd like to blame it on the war or human treachery, but the truth is, I've got my own thick skull to blame. Rather not dwell on it, Geralt, if you don't mind.
Nice talking to you, Zoltan. See you later. Got a minute?
For you, my friend, always.
Gotta tell me, how'd you wind up owning this establishment?
You'll never believe this. I inherited it from none other than Alonzo Wiley, Whoreson Sr. himself.
You're right, I don't believe it.
Alonzo ruled the local underworld with an iron fist, but deep down, he was a romantic, pure as they come. This place is one of the reasons his son's not my biggest fan. See, Cyprian Jr., that is, wanted to make this a brothel, but the Rosemary went to me, and I planned to turn it into the most elegant venue in town, a den of art and culture.
How'd you and Priscilla meet?
It was at the court of Duke Hereward, the annual balladry contest. We faced off in the final.
Who won?
I don't remember.
I bet. Probably lost and you don't want to admit it.
Actually, she'd caught my eye, so I let her win. I was counting on getting a prize after the contest.
And? Did you?
That, my friend, is not your concern.
Got a portrait of Hierarch Hemmelford I'm willing to part with. Want it?
Yes, those halfling painters. This one of theirs? Wonderful. I put this up at the Rosemary in time. It'll make those temple guard inspections so much easier.
Ran into Molly. She says hello.
Molly? Which Molly?
One you promised to show your butterfly collection to.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
Butterfly collection? You of all people could stand to be a little more inventive.
Molly didn't need inventive. She needed attentive. Average, run-of-the-mill girl. Give her a smile. Notice her shoes. Let her chat about them a bit. And she'd turn into a wellspring of passion.
See you, Dandelion.
It's you, the White Wolf, the famous Geralt of Rivia, am I right?
You hear about me?
Hear about you? Why, I know all there is to know. I learned it from Dandelion himself, who's forever telling stories of you and your adventures together, of your hunt for the dragon, and how you outfoxed the Sylvan midst the hemp, of the battle for the bridge, and how he saved you from bandits.
Like to hear that one sometime myself.
One never tires of Dandelion's tales and ballads. Why, all will be amazed when I tell them the wolf himself takes joy in listening to them. Now, tell me how I may be of service. Something to whet your time?
You worked here long? Earlier, I mean.
Under old Mr. Wiley, you mean? Why, no. I answered a notice. What did it say? Help wanted to assist in the oversight of an exclusive establishment with refined diversions. Baccalaureate freshly gained, 10 years of tavern experience a plus, knowledge of the common tongue, elder tongue, and contemporary poetry required.
Wouldn't you have been better off staying at the academy, or?
I never passed the entrance exam. Neither do I know a lick of elder, though I can indeed play a ditty or three. Also, I've committed all Master Dandelion's works to memory.
Ah, I see. What do you have to drink that's good? Take care now.
On your way? Or will you stay longer? It's far safer with you around.
Greetings, Triss.
Have you lost your mind? You went after Imlerith by yourselves? To the Sabbath? How could you put Ciri in danger?
Come on, we came out of it fine. Can't say the same for Imlerith.
That's the sole comfort I find in this, but it's no justification. You know what might have happened?
Yeah, but I'd never let Ciri come to any harm. You know that. Past burning pyres on the way into town, non-humans on them.
Things grow worse by the day. No mages left in the city, so the hunters had to find someone else to victimize. We need to resolve everything as quickly as possible and leave Novigrad.
Any success with the Lodge? Anyone out there willing to help?
It doesn't look good. Ida outright refused, while Francesca won't budge from her little realm with a war raging. We don't know about Fringilla. Haven't been able to contact her.
And the others? Kira? Margarita? Philippa?
Kira? I thought you, of all people, would know.
Few can refuse a sorceress. And Kira Metz certainly had her ways. But when she demanded the Mage Alexander's notes, I had to turn her down. Kira needed that, as she needed the impetus to start anew. She found it where she least expected to. Years later, known for discovering the cure for the Catriona plague, she was thankful none remembered her time in hiding as a village witch. I've seen worse matches. Hope things work out for them.
I hope they work out for us, and we actually find Philippa and Rita.
Know where they are?
Yennefer's looking into Rita's whereabouts. I have to figure out where Philippa is.
Know what Jens found out?
You'll need to ask her. I've been busy trying to find Philippa.
So, learn anything?
A few things that could be interesting. Prefer the long version or the short?
Tell me everything. I want the details.
After fleeing Loch Muin, Philippa ended up here in Novigrad. She sought help from her former lover, the sorcerer Arthur de Vlister.
Philippa and a former lover? Something tells me happily ever after is not how that story ends.
Philippa had made a fool of him once. Arthur was out for revenge. He convinced her she'd be safest as an owl. She transformed, and he placed a Dimeridian band on her leg. The mage hunt started shortly afterwards. Sadly, Arthur fell victim. They auctioned off his estate. Just so happened a certain dwarven acquaintance of ours stumbled on the auction.
Zoltan. Huh. So Philippa was here under our noses the whole time?
Was, precisely. Zoltan lost her in a card game a few days ago.
Yep, that's Zoltan for you.
A man showed up here, fleeced Zoltan bare, then proposed they play for the owl. Naturally, he won, then politely thanked Zoltan for the game and left.
Who was it? Know where he lives?